What's better than a lobster dinner? Well, I'll tell you what's better than a lobster dinner. Lobster out of the shell dinner. Well, here's a video on how to break apart your lobster. Okay, we'll start off with a steamed lobster. And we'll pick it up and twist the claws and knuckles, and that'll pop them right off. And then we'll pick up and twist the tail, that'll come off. Then we'll take a knife at the back side of the tail, we'll use the tip, push down, run the knife along the tail, and it'll split in half. Then we'll clean out the lobster tail. Once we clean out the inside of the lobster tail, then we'll set that aside. Then we'll use a paper towel, clean the cutting board. And then we'll pick up the claws and we'll just push them against the cutting board, and the knuckles will actually pop off. Then we'll grab a bowl, and this is a bad camera angle, so let's switch to this one. This is a crusher claw, and we're going to wiggle the little thumb part back and forth, and that'll pull right out. And this is more of a pincher claw. We'll wiggle the little thumb part and it comes right out. And here's another lobster claw. This one's also a pincher one. And then we'll move back to the original lobster, and we'll use the back side of the knife, and we'll just tap the claw on each side, and then you're able to pull the meat right out. It'll just come right out. Now there's some cartilage that was remaining in it, so you want to check for that and pull that little piece out. And then the other one, we'll use a nutcracker or lobster crackers, and we'll just push it and it'll crack it, and then you can pull the meat out. And we'll check for the cartilage, and there's none in that one, so that one's all set. Now the knuckles, we can use the back side of the knife and just use it like a hammer and just give it a little tap, and that'll crack it. And then you can use your fingers to pull the meat out. And sometimes you're going to have to use a little pick to get the remainder of the meat out. And then the other side, we'll use the lobster crackers, and we'll just push on it, and that'll crack the knuckle. We'll twist, and we'll use the little pick to get that meat out, and just pull it right out. And then we'll work on the lobster head. Now we'll cut these legs off using the knife. And the easiest way to get the meat out of this, take a rolling pin and just roll the legs under that, and it just squeezes the meat right out. Normally people will just pick these legs up and they'll just try to eat the meat using their teeth and trying to squeeze the meat out. But if you have a cutting board and a rolling pin, this is by far the easiest way to get the meat out. Clean the cutting board, and then we'll take apart the head. We'll clean it off with a little bit of water, and you can break this apart. Now if this was a larger lobster, this is definitely worth doing. There's a lot of good pieces of meat in the lobster head. But since this is a very small lobster, sometimes it's hard to find those little chunks of meat, so that's why I'm not spending too much time on this section. Once you're done taking apart the lobster head, then we'll end up working on the tails. We'll pull this lobster meat out of the tails, it comes right out. And you think you might be done there, but these little tiny fins on the back actually have some meat in them. So we'll just take them apart, and whoa, there's actually a good chunk of meat right there. And we'll put them on the cutting board, and then if you have little scissors, you can cut the little fin piece and you can get the piece of meat out of it. And if you don't have scissors, you can just pick them up and use your teeth and kind of bite on them and pull, and you can try to get a little piece of the meat out. And that's how you break apart a lobster. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please think about subscribing to my channel. It'll keep you up to date on all my future videos. And leave a comment on what you liked or what you didn't like, or what you'd like to see me work on next. Thanks again for watching.